Hello, teacher Tony. I am Matupunesom.
And Jackie Wisuntaroto.
Yeah, today we are going to talk about Australian music. Here we go. Popular music has existed in Australia for more than 30,000 years. Australia's Aboriginal population has used music to tell the story of the dream time, using improvised instruments and in particular the didgeridoo. Here is the didgeridoo, a wind instrument made from hollow tree branches which produces a wide range of sounds. Here is the sound of didgeridoo.
When white people arrived as convicts from England, they took traditional folk songs and added lyrics which talk of hardship and their struggle to survive in foreign land. One of the most popular folk songs to emerge from the struggles of the working class in Australia was Waltzing Matilda, about a homeless man who stole sheep and who the police caught.
Waltzing Matilda, you come a waltzing Matilda with me. He sang as he watched and waited till his billy boiled. You come a waltzing Matilda with me.
This song remains possibly the most famous and popular folk song in Australian culture and relates to the difficulties which face people who sometimes struggle to survive. This theme has become central to Australian popular music throughout its history and links Australian people to a feeling of being part of the nation independent of its British past.
During the first half of 20th century, Australian folk music began to evolve into a unique style of country music, and the best-known performers Smokey Dawson and Slim Dusty wrote and sang songs that only Australians would understand.
Songs which told stories of the relationship between Australians and the land on which they lived. These were songs that many Australians identified with, especially rural people who struggled to farm a difficult land.
World War II brought a new form of popular music from outside Australia, which came with United States military servicemen who were based in Australia during the war. Big band jazz music became very popular, especially as the United States was helping win the war in the Pacific.
American culture had already arrived in Australia, as Hollywood movies were popular before the war, but American music became popular with many Australians. And when rock and roll music arrived in the mid-1950s, and Australian youth subculture developed.
Many singers and musicians performed copies of his American songs, but one Australian performer, Johnny O'Keefe, became very famous but only in Australia. And here is the song that he sang.
Where's my ring to show?
Old song, very old. When the Beatles arrived in Australia, however, they showed that a group of working class kids from Liverpool in England could make simple, catchy pop music which appealed to most other kids, and they could get rich and famous.
Thousands of Australian kids began to dream of becoming rich and famous, just like Beatles, and rock and roll music became central to Australian youth culture. Since the 1960s, Australia has produced many well-known singers, bands, and musicians, and most of those became famous with the evolution of pop rock.
Pubs became the place where every Australian band aspiring to be famous could break into the music scene. Out of this pub rock culture, bands such as the SCB and In Excess became world famous. Others such as Socio and the Angels were hugely popular only in Australia. But the most famous band to emerge from Australia's unique pub rock culture is AC/DC.
Since the band formed in 1974, they have become famous all over the world, attracting hundreds of thousands of fans to concerts every time they tour. They have sold tens of millions of albums worldwide, but their music remains the same. Australian pop rock musical culture remains at the center of the success of AC/DC, and thus a unique form of Australian culture has influenced young people all over the world.
This is all of our presentation. Hope you like it and thank you for your attention.
Please enjoy the music.
Bye.